Hi, in this video I'm gonna show you how to remove and install exhaust muffler and rear subframe on Jaguar X Type 3-liter V6 engine. It should be same as on 2.5-liter engine. Unfortunately, I have decided to record this video when it was all removed, so this will be more as installation video, but the removal is just reverse of what you will see now. I will try to explain as much as I can about the removal process. So, first of all, you need to check up the car to certain height. You will see later in video how high is necessary, and put it safely on stands. When car is up and sits safely on stands, start up with removing stabilizer bar. It's held by 2 screws on each side. And then down there is ball joint screw, which you remove with a lunky inside to prevent it from spinning, and with 13mm wrench you remove the nut. Same is on the other side. When it's all loosened, you just lift up and remove whole sway bar. Then you need to remove rear lower arms, so put jack underneath the arm, lift it a little bit up for releasing tension from the springs, and remove bolt from knuckle. Then just slowly release the jack and remove the spring. Do the same thing on the other side. Important thing, this bolt is attached to this eccentric washer, so you will need to remove nut first, not the bolt, because the bolt is locked into place due to eccentric washer. So you must remove nut first and then pull out the bolt. This bolt is used for setting the alignment of rear lower arms. I forgot to mention one thing. Before you remove springs, on the left rear lower arm is attached this height sensor. So just pull out the joint and unplug electrical connector. Just squeeze it and pull it out. After rear lower arms and springs out, you remove front upper arms, which is bolted here and here, and the lower control arms, which is bolted here and here. Do it on both sides. Important thing, these nuts are welded to subframe, so you need to remove bolt, not the nuts. Same is here, same is here, same is up here on the upper control arms. And then you must disconnect the exhaust. Here is originally clamp, but mine was totally rusted, so I had to cut it and put new exhaust pipe joint. Then you must detach the driveshaft from differential. There is 6 bolts, so remove them and just push driveshaft joint towards the engine and release it. Important thing, you cannot lay driveshaft on floor, otherwise you will damage the central bearing. Lay driveshaft on something to be in this height. Then releasing these 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, and then with the differential attached, you will lower the whole subframe down. When it will be lowered, you can disconnect the differential with these or these bolts. So that was the theory how to remove subframe. Now you will see installation part, which is opposite way of removal. So when subframe and exhaust are out of the car, I let the differential lay on wooden blocks, so I don't need to unplug the half shafts. Just disconnect the drive shaft from differential and unbolt it here. And it is good idea when the differential is down to change the oil in it. Because these diffs don't have drain bolt, so you need to suck the old oil out with vacuum through the filler plug. And when it's down like this, you have nice access to the filler plug. Unfortunately, I did this oil change off camera, but check YouTube, there's plenty videos how to do it. You will just need 1.15 liters of 75W140 LS GL5 gear oil to fill this diff. Anyway, subframe is bolted on 4 screws here, 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 and here. I wanted to keep this job as simplest as it can be, so I let the knuckles lay also on wooden blocks, so I don't need to unplug brake lines. Just be careful to have this well supported, otherwise if it falls from wooden blocks, you will need new brake lines. So I just jacked up the rear end, laid on stands, took out wheels, arms, springs, and lay rest on the wooden blocks. You don't really need to remove shock absorbers. To get out subframe, it is enough to squeeze one shocker and lay it here. Don't need to do both. It is enough to do this on one side. It will make solid room for manipulation with subframe. Here is how I cut the exhaust pipe here. Because originally there was a clamp, but as time goes, it rusted together and won't come out. So I cut it here, and now I will clean this pipe and use new exhaust joiner. So I have prepared some wooden blocks as place for laying down the subframe. Now with help of second person, I am gonna move the subframe to the place. Putting this mount to the differential and land the whole subframe on the wooden blocks. Then bolt the differential to the subframe. Subframe is laid down on the blocks, just like that. And now I'm gonna connect the differential to the mounts. Then lay exhaust muffler on the floor and place its pipe over subframe. Differential is bolted to the subframe. Here is bolts, mounts to subframe and mounts to differential. Third bolt is also on its place. For now, I just tied it as I can, and when this all will be together, I will do final torque to specs. Now it's coming the tricky part, which is mounting the exhaust muffler, which needs to go right here and same on the other side. And here on the subframe is bolted third mount. When I was taking the muffler out of car, it was a bit pain, because there is not much room to manipulate and twist out the pipe from subframe. The pipe goes through the subframe, so you need to dismount whole muffler and twist it for releasing it. But there is this mount which is holding the muffler, and these bolts was rusted, so I cannot loosen them. This makes whole disassemble more painful, so make sure to take the time and try to remove these bolts and whole mount first. You will thank me later. So when the frame was out, I drilled all bolts out and prepared the new ones, and gonna mount it when exhaust will be on its place. Here it is. As I said, due to the shape of exhaust pipe, you need to remove whole subframe to get the muffler out of car. By the way, workshop manual says, if you want to disassemble muffler from this car, cut it in the end and then connect it with joint clamp. But I was changing whole subframe, so no need for cutting the mufflers. So you need to twist whole exhaust and put its pipe right here, right after right half shift of differential. It's quite a pain. This is the pin that needs to go to the mount I was talking about. Exhaust mufflers are on its place. It needs to go from this side because here is spare tire place that stays in way. And you don't have much place for manipulation. You need to slide the pipe right here. If you are doing this job on the floor, make sure you lift the rear end high enough to slide the muffler out and then back in. I had it lifted like this, and if I was a little bit lower, I would not be able to get out the muffler. I had it like 73.5 centimeters here from the floor, and it was barely enough. Now I was slowly jacking up whole subframe, make sure that goes in the right way. Now I am at a point where I can attach this mount, so going to do it right now. Then I'm gonna continue lifting whole thing up to the car body. So subframe is mounted. I was slowly lifting it up to the right point that I can bolt it to the car body. As workshop manual says, you will need a special alignment tool, but I don't have it, so I just measure it and center it to be right in the center from all sides. Then I torqued down all 4 bolts to 126 Nm. Then torqued this differential bolt to 135 Nm and these two bodies to 90 Nm. So everything is back in place. This is the central exhaust mount for which you need to lower the subframe to get it out. Now it's time to get back all arms, springs and stabilizer bar together. I mounted front upper and lower arms. Torque specs is 124 Nm for all 4 bolts. Now I'm gonna install central driveshaft back to the differential. So I clean the differential joint and gonna put some new fresh grease. Just lift the driveshaft up, push its joint towards the engine and slide it on the differential. Then torque it with crisscross pattern hand tight and final torque is 44 Nm. Then I'm gonna get this old rusty clamp from exhaust pipe and gonna put a new one. Also I place the cable of this height sensor. Now for the spring installation. You must first attach rear lower arm to eccentric bolt right after the differential. But just hand tight it. It must be free to move. Then slide spring in. It must go like this. There is slit lock in this plastic piece, which must meet the spring. Down there is also a place where spring must sit in the right place. And then lift it slowly up with the jack to the point where you can attach the bolt to wheel knuckle. Do it same way on the other side. So I am done. That's how it should look. I put back the stabilizer bar. That's how I deal with the exhaust clamp. Driveshaft is connected, springs are on their place, everything looks how it should look. And now it's time to put it on wheels, lower the car on its weight, and do the final torque. And every bolts on front upper arms, front lower arms, rear lower arms need to be torqued to 124 Nm. So this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, that bolt right there, this bolt, and finally this bolt. And the bottom bolt of shock absorber needs to be torqued to 130 Nm. And again, this bolt needs to be torqued down when car is on its own weight. So that was how I did this job. Now I have last tip for you. These bolts can be very tight to lose them. So if you are planning to do this job, take your time few days before, clean every bolt and thread with steel brush and spray them with WD-40 or similar product to release the rust. If it still would not come out, apply some heat to them. This also helps in most cases. If you want to ask something, feel free to write a comment. I will try to respond as soon as possible. If you find this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel please. This helps me a lot. And there's gonna be more videos about this jack and many more helpful tech videos. Thank you.